Have you ever been working on a piece and there's a particular angle or a proportion or some darn thing that no matter how hard you're trying, you just can't quite get it and you keep making the same mistake over and over and over again? Well, there's a reason for that. And there's a handy little tool that you can make for yourself to use in the studio that will help you deal with that. Hi, I'm Carrie from Carrie Alves Art Studio, and today I'm going to talk about why sometimes we really struggle with those angles and proportions. And the main reason for this is because of the way our brains are wired to perceive the world around us. We have a tendency to see things in terms of recognizable patterns. And this is a good thing for the most part. It allows us to quickly navigate through the world and see things and recognize things immediately. For instance, when you see words with letters that have been removed to abbreviate them, we see a certain sequence of letters and immediately we can fill in the blanks and we know what that word is. It's the same thing with the human face. We know that it has two eyes, nose, and a mouth, and a particular shape of the head. And it allows us to see things immediately. And we like those patterns. They help us recognize things. But when you're in the studio and doing your drawings or paintings, sometimes it works against you. We have a tendency to impose preconceived perceptions without even realizing that we're doing it. And that's the reason. We're not really seeing it. We're simply perceiving it and then acting on that perception. So what can you do about it? Well, the first thing you can do is actually become aware that that's what you're doing and to detach mentally from that process and be able to step back and learn to really develop your observational skills. That's the first thing. And the second thing that you can do is actually use this little thing, and it's called a black mirror. And it's a handy little tool that you can keep around the studio, and it will really help you see things much more objectively. So where do you get it and how do you use it? Let's get started. So what we're going to need are just go to the local dollar store or the really cheap little place and get the cheapest little frames that you can find. These are 4x6 or 5x7 or whatever. And what we're actually looking for, we don't care about the frame. What we want is actually the glass that's inside the frame. That's what we're looking for. And it's just a really cheap and easy way to get that kind of glass without getting into cutting and all that sort of thing. It's just already pre-cut, it's inexpensive, and that's the easiest way to do that. So we're gonna take both pieces of glass, so we need the two frames. So now we have the two pieces of glass. The next thing you're going to need is just a pair of scissors. You're going to need some black electrical tape. Usually, I mean, all these supplies I got just at a local dollar store. A utility knife, and a piece of black Bristol board or whatever, just some cheap black paper with a matte surface, and that's all you need. Then what you're going to do is you're just going to simply take one of your pieces of glass and you're just going to cut around it. Now don't forget to put a cutting mat under your work when you're doing this. That's it. You end up with a perfectly sized piece of glass. Then you take one piece of glass and your second piece of glass and you just put the paper in between the two pieces of glass and sandwich it. Then what you're going to do is take some of your electrical tape and just cut a piece off. Put it on the edge of the glass so you can fold it over the edge. Then you're just going to fold it over the edge of the glass. And then just trim the little extra bits off. And you're going to do this for all four sides. And there you have it. A nice little black mirror. So simple, takes a few minutes to make. So how do you use it? Well, you take it and you hold it up just to the brow line and a particular angle, and you look up into the mirror, and it will give you a perfectly clear reflection of everything that's in front of you. And so when you're using it and you're looking at your work between your reference material and the work that's on your board or your canvas, you actually can see what you're working on perfectly in reverse, and you will begin to notice that whatever mistakes are there, they immediately start to jump right out. It's just taking you objectively one step backwards that you can then begin to see things a lot more clearly and a lot more objectively. One of the tricks that's been used in studios forever is to actually turn your work upside down, and it helps to break the pattern. We don't see the face as the face, or the vase as the vase, or the animal as the animal. We just simply see a series of shapes, angles, and values, and they become abstracted and objectified. Sometimes flipping your work upside down just isn't possible. It's not convenient, the wrong medium, the piece is too big. There's a lot of reasons why that wouldn't work. So if you're doing realism, portraiture, which is another great example, where you really need to have accuracy, this is a wonderful little tool to keep around the studio. So I hope this has been a helpful little tip. And remember, if you like this video, please like, share, or subscribe. And remember, stay creative. This is your time to express yourself. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Be sure to visit my website from the link below, where you can download my free studio setup guide. You can also take my free introductory course called Getting You Started with Realistic Drawing.